Sometimes you have to reach back into the archives just to remember how far you've come. This is called My Father's Midlife Crisis, or Why I Can't Have Anything Nice. I grew quickly. I'm convinced my body continually shrinks and grows by a few centimeters just to fuck with me. One day, I can lean from my office chair to my kitchen counter to pluck a piping hot cup of coffee from the ledge. The next day, my arm is mysteriously shrunk, and I face plant into an empty stack of wine bottles, splattering the molten mug's contents across my tiny apartment. My self-deprecating screams go unnoticed as it is past noon, and the neighbors are already well into their first crack rock of the day. Or at work, it's kind of a mixed bag building. Students and young professionals, crackheads. Need cheap rent close to Toronto's multiple downtown post-secondary campuses and businesses? Need cheap rent so they can purchase more crack. Enjoy the active and vibrant multicultural atmosphere a centralized location in Canada's largest urban population centre provides. Enjoy vomiting in front of my door, setting the elevator on fire, and all together now. Crack! Thank you. The fastest surefire way to get motivated to do something with your life, move in across from a crack den. It was helpful because motivation was something I needed living on my own. At home, I always had my father to count on for motivation. As a young boy, you can look up to your father in the hopes that one day you'll grow into a smart, competent adult and the age will leave him withered and tired. The combination allowing you to best him in athletics or possibly Scrabble. I could never spell, so I always assumed my most likely shot was in athletics. Once my coordination began to catch up with my uncontrollable growth spurts, around my first year of university, I realized this was my chance. So I tried out for the rowing team, a sport I knew nothing about. However, as fate would have it, I both enjoyed and was fairly good at it, even going as far as making the team. So, by the time I returned home for Thanksgiving, I was in the best shape of my life, and proud that for the first time, I'd made a team whose requirements were simply more than showing up. This is when I came face to face with my father's midlife crisis. He'd become a biker. Not the leather-clad, bad boy Hells Angels types, but the tight spandex, one-ball Lance Armstrong variety. Yeah. I believe the PC term is cyclist. To make matters worse, he purchased one of those fancy high-end type bikes that don't even have pedals. Instead, they have special shoes that clip in directly. And seeing as I don't share a shoe size with dear old dad, couldn't even borrow it. Now, just because he's bought all the high-end equipment doesn't mean he's Tour de France ready. But the man never does anything half-assed, making my triumphant return an odd disappointment as a, we'll call him 49-year-old, in blue spandex, bike circles around me. This is fine, I thought, just more motivation. But the rowing season came to an abrupt halt as winter set in and exams rolled around, and I adopted a more sedentary lifestyle, sacrificing my once slightly impressive physique for a freshman 15. But at least I knew how to relax. Or so I thought. It was on my return home again in December that I learned the cold had driven my father's midlife crisis inside. Using money he probably saved from not having to feed me, he purchased an incredibly impressive high-definition television. He had just beat me at the fine art of sitting on one's ass. It wasn't until he combined these two skills by becoming ridiculously good at Wii tennis that I had to throw my hands in the air and surrender. He has old man strength, that resilience and confidence that only comes with age, and there is literally nothing I can do about it. So in the end, I was sprawled in a pile on the floor of my tiny apartment, realizing my arm had shrunken just to rob me of my coffee, the way it robbed me of the accomplishments of besting my father. But as the black nectar burnt the hair from my arm, I had to smile. Because after all, I wasn't smoking crack, and that still gotta count for something.